Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, and I'm here in the Rosicrucian Egyptian Museum. So let's go together. Take a few seconds and subscribe to my channel. I'm entering Rosicrucian garden and see how beautiful and peaceful. Rosicrucian Peace Garden, you can see this map. God. I contribute to peace when I feel compassion toward all those suffer. I contribute the peace when I look upon all men and women as my brother and sister, regardless of race, culture, or religion.
You broke your leg. And in those images, everything is lying on top of each other. So it's hard to see things clearly. If you take those images all around an object and you use a mathematical algorithm to reconstruct, then you can actually get a slice through the object. And then you can see things much more clearly. You can see the bone and you can see the soft tissue separately, and you can see the fat and the skin.
Take a few seconds and subscribe to my channel.
So, these glyphs that are marking the entrance to her tomb, what kind of information do you expect to be up there? The same stuff, the name of the person, prayers for the person, their familial relationships, and that's what it says. Our inscription here says, praise Ra. Ra was the god of the sun. Praise Ra as he rises on the sky's eastern horizon. So this is a prayer to the sun god Ra. Behold, Kanum Hotep. And that's the name of the person right there. This is the public section. This is where you want people to come. The Egyptians believe that everything you do now, you still have to do after you die. And that's everything. That's eating, drinking, breathing, sleeping. They didn't think there's any reason that should stop just because you died. So when you come to the offering chamber, you're supposed to bring an offering of food for the person's spirit. Over here, we have the offering niche. The back bit is called a false door. Whenever you see one of these, spirits can come and go whenever they want to. Beneath there, you've got the offering altar. That's where the food goes for the person. Their spirit comes in through the doorway, eats a spare of the food, and then goes back to the afterlife where they came from. Now, there are a few problems with the system. There was a big worry that if you don't feed the person, their spirit, they could starve and die in the next life. If you died in the next life, the Egyptians thought you just stop existing. They called it the true death, and it's something that you definitely want to avoid. We know this is Kanum because his name is written right above his head. Now in front of him, there's a feast. On the table, there's loaves of bread. Further over, there's meat. On the bottom, there's stuff for him to drink. The Egyptians believed that anything you create artistically can become real in the next life. So anything you draw, sculpt, pretty much anything, it can become real next week, next month, next life. It has a chance. And this principle, by the way, is called sympathetic magic. This is something, again, it's not just an Egyptian thing. This is a human thing. Sympathetic magic finds its way into a lot of different cultures. It's how stuff like voodoo works, or have you guys ever heard of thought manifestation before? If you haven't, it's the basic idea that if you wake up in the morning and say, I will have a good day, and then you do in fact have a good day, you just made yourself have a good day. That's sympathetic magic. It's something that humans have been doing for literally thousands of years. So the idea with the wall is that since Khnum-Hotep is shown in front of a giant feast, there will be a feast. He can eat that every single day in the next life, just in case nobody brings him any offerings here at the altar. Now, not every tomb has a big room for this. Sometimes it's just an altar. Some tombs actually have evidence of just having really big wooden doors. They would build a literal door right here to stop people from going down. To get to the next room, there is a staircase. So again, you notice the giant hole right in the middle of the room. That is the burial shaft, which is the shaft at the bottom of which you put the person's body. This is very shocking to you all, I'm very sure. Sorry, can you make sure that the flash is on that, please?
Sure.
When they place the body at the bottom of the shaft, they're going to seal it off. And again, this could be with just one really, really big chunk of stone. The most common thing that they did, though, was backfill it with whatever they excavated. So you put back the dirt, the rubble, the sand that you removed to make the shaft, and that's going to seal off the bottom. To have a really big honking sarcophagus, you would just have a room like this without the shaft, and the sarcophagus is just sitting by itself right in the middle. Some tombs have multiple shafts, though. You can have an entire family buried in a single tomb. If somebody else you know and you really, really care about dies, you just dig them a shaft inside of your own tomb. It's also a really common thing. Now, one thing that you see in pretty much every tomb out there is grave robbing. People have been robbing tombs for about as long as we've been building them. Usually you're looking for some rounds. You see that there are holes all over our walls. This is all from grave robbing. This is all people coming down, finding pretty images, removing it, and then selling it off to somebody else. And from the Egyptian perspective, this is exactly the same as taking that time and have to work as well. There's still things that you need to do. Khnum-Hotep was a nomad. Again, he has a lot of people working for him, so he needs a lot of people helping him in the next life. So all around him, we see workers. We have builders and a hunter. Over here, these people are making cloth. Over here, winemakers, even dancers and entertainers. They're all going to become real and do exactly what you see them doing. Over here, you've got Khnum-Hotep enjoying himself. We see he is hunting, and over here, we see he's fishing. These were two very popular pastimes, especially for the wealthy. And again, if you draw it on the wall, it will become true. So Khnum-Hotep will have time to enjoy himself in the next life. Now over here, we have your final test. This is the weighing of the heart ceremony. Khnum-Hotep is led to the scales of Ma'at. Alongside the scale is a vase which contains the person's heart. Over here, Ma'at's feather of truth. Ma'at is an Egyptian word that means balance, order, justice, perfection, goodness, truth, and a whole lot of other things. At its very core, Ma'at is correctness. Ma'at is the right way of doing something. Because if you do something the right way, good things should happen. But if you do something badly, if you do something wrong, if you ignore the correct way of doing something, then bad things are going to be the result. The Egyptians thought every time you ignored Ma'at, every time you ignored that right way of doing something, it causes guilt on your heart. That guilt makes your heart heavy, which is why it's being weighed here. Now let's say hypothetically, you didn't do a single thing wrong in your entire life. Okay, you lived the perfect existence. There is no guilt on your heart at all. That means that your heart over here is going to be in perfect balance with the feather. This says that you are as good as the literal symbol of truth itself. However, every bad thing that you did do makes your heart just a little bit heavier, and the gods are looking out for that. If your heart's very heavy, falling down towards the floor, they know that you are not a good person. They're going to take your heart out, and they're going to feed it to this creature here. Her name is Amut, which literally means she who eats things. So when you give she who eats things your heart, she eats your heart. And when she eats your heart, you stop existing. The Egyptians believe everything in the universe works on a cycle. Day and night, the seasons of the year, life and death, they're all cycles. If Nu can change the sun and the moon, maybe she can help your soul in its cycle reach the afterlife safely, which we see happening right over here. Hello, Maltep. It's Pastor's text. He's being led forward to be introduced to Osiris. This is the king of the afterlife. He's the guy in charge. He's going to make sure you get everything you need to live peacefully for the rest of forever.
I hope you like the Egyptian Museum tour with all the ancient artifacts and great collection of the surrounding Garden of Peace. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, push like button and leave a comment, and I see you soon. Bye!